Hello, Scorpius Alpha here with another installment of Imperfect Perfection, Chapter 14, 2012. Samson. Hey, it's me. So, Greg took me to the VFW for a drink and introduced me to his friends. They were all in Vietnam, not in the same unit, but they all faced it. I looked around to see if I recognized anyone. I didn't, but noticed people around my age. Greg tells me about the people there. Not everyone who comes in here is here now, obviously, but everyone has their own spot. Over there are the Desert Storm vets. The three over there are the last of the World War II vets, and the last two Korean vets. It's sad, really. Over there is you guys, their Army and Navy. The branches tend to stick together here at first, so they might be dicks about it. Besides, I want to introduce to you to my buddies. This is John, Mark, and Bart. He gestures to the group of older men who just grunt and nod at me. Sorry, they're sloshed. They'll talk to you when we get here first thing tomorrow. Then we can all drink and talk. After we left the bar, After we left the bar the next day, I passed out when I got home because I drank too much trying to keep up with Greg and his buddies. I woke up somewhere around 6 and decided to go for a walk. During my walk, I see a homeless guy holding a homeless veteran sign, and so I decided to talk to him. Hey, what's up? I ask him. Huh? Are you are you talking to me? He asks. Yeah, I am. Are 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 you real? Yeah. Are you okay? Wanna huff? He offers me a brown paper bag with his hand keeping it closed. Yeah, no thanks. Here, put that down. I walk over and sit down next to him and push his arm back. What's your name? Name's Scott. Scott, I'm Samson. What were you in? Or is this just a sympathy ruse? You look around my age, so something bad must have happened for you to end up here. I was in Iraq, but I wasn't even around that long. I was dishonorably discharged over a racist joke to a superior officer that I heard from one of my squad mates, named John. You were in my unit? Maybe, I don't remember you. Maybe you were before my time. But then again, I didn't know everyone in the unit, so what happened? Because I got dishonorably discharged, I lost my benefits. Wife wasn't too happy that I wasn't gone long. That struck me as odd, considering you think a wife would be happy her Marine husband was home instead of potentially dying out there. Then I come to find out it's because she's having an affair behind my back while I was deployed. And then she divorced me and left me for him. I fell into a depression so deep that I drank all my money away. Eventually, I ended up here. Dude, that sucks. Tell me about it. Tell you what, how about you room with me for a little while? You can look for a job, have a roof over your head, food, and you can come to therapy with me. Why would you do something like that for me? We literally just met. I've done so much bad in my life that I need to make up for it. I accidentally got my unit killed, and that's just the most recent example of why I need to do this. So it's just to help you feel better. I guess you could say that, but it's a win win. You got screwed over by life, and this is opportunity knocking. Alright, I usually don't like taking help from people, but I'm literally at the bottom. Thank you, Samson. You're welcome. Get in the car. We get in my car and I put a tarp from the trunk on the passenger seat. Don't take it personally. The seats are white. I understand. So here's the deal. I come from a wealthy family. Let's go visit my dad. I'm gonna ask him for money. I don't have the amount needed for me to help you the way I wanted. I don't feel comfortable taking a stranger's money like this. I don't know your dad. Trust me, you'll recognize him. Haven't you ever wanted to meet a celebrity? What are you talking about? We drive to the upper part of the city and I get us to my dad's house. Nice place. You know the band Chronic State? Yeah, they got some good songs. My dad is the mutated rivet head. The lead singer, guitarist? Yeah. You must be loaded. Not as loaded as we were in the 90s. Plus, my mom took half in the divorce. Still, pretty fancy. I stop at the front door and park. Before we continue, do you want to do this? What would I be getting? A wardrobe and personal sundries. I'll try to ask for a little pocket money for anything else you might need, like maybe for lunch at your new job. Even if you don't get anything, just the honor of meeting him and how grateful I am that you'd be willing to do this for me gives me hope that there's still good people in the world and not all the 1% are selfish. Honestly, before the war, I wouldn't even consider this, so don't count your chickens. Let's go. All right. I ring the doorbell and Bibbleton, the butler, answers the door. Ah, Master Samson, pleasure to see a fellow war hero, he says in his British accent. Not a hero. Is Dad home? Yes, sir. He's right in his study. Might I ask who your visitor is? This is Scott. He's a fellow vet, just really down on his luck. How admirable of you, sir. My, war has changed you. It changes us all, doesn't it? Indeed it does, sir. I hope you have many more years ahead of you, Bimbleton. Sir, I'm 87. You don't look a day over 90, Bimbleton. We follow him into the house and to my dad's study. He knocks on the door. Sir, Mr. Sampson and guest are here. The door opens and my dad looks at us. Come on in, he says. Me and Scott walk in. So what's up? Need some money? Kinda, but not for me. I guessed as much seeing you brought a bum into my house. I'm honored, TMR, Scott says, bowing. Chill, man, I say to Scott. This bum is actually a former Marine from my old unit. All I'm asking for is to get him a wardrobe, some essentials, and possibly pocket money. This is the first unselfish thing I've seen you do, Dad says. Truth be told, I want to repair all the damage I've done. I hope the experience would have an effect on you, but this is beyond my expectations. Is $2 grand enough? It's more than I was expecting. We'll take it. Here you go. He gives me the money and I pocket it. Good luck, Scott. I hope I'm making a good investment. Thank you, sir. Is there any chance the band will return? I'll tell you the same thing I told the reporters. No. Oh, sorry for asking, but Power Surge is one of my top favorite albums of all time. That solo you did on Crispy Fried and Burnt gives me goosebumps. Thanks, kid, and good luck. Thank you, sir. All right, ass kiss, let's go, I say as we turn around and leave. Later, Dad. Thanks again. Later, Samson, Dad calls back. We get back in my car and head toward my house. I caught him while he was baked. That's why it was so easy, I tell him. Thanks again, Samson. That was so surreal. No problem. So here's the deal. You can use my water, you can eat my food, you can use my electricity. I want you to focus on getting a job. When you get said job, you're going to save your money so you can find a place on your own. Please don't take advantage of my kindness or you will find yourself back on the street. Do you understand me? Wow, all serious all of a sudden. I'm serious. I've never been this nice before, and I don't take kindly to being taken advantage of. I can be quite the heartless dick, but I'm trying to change that, so please don't make me regret this. Second chances don't come every day. I promise I won't. You better not. We get to my house and go in. All right, take a shower. Fourth door on the left. I'll try and find some clothes I can spare for you. They might be a little baggy on you, and you'll have to free ball. I ain't letting you use my underwear. He goes into the bathroom and I look through my clothes to see what I don't mind getting rid of. I pick a shirt and a pants and I haven't worn in years. I won't miss them. I never wear blue socks. Why do I have blue socks? He can have those too. Now, shoes might be a problem. Mine are way too big. Eventually he comes out of the shower and he looks so much better. Thanks for the shower, man. I haven't had one that good in a long time. So I don't have a pair of shoes for you to wear. I still have mine. Yeah, but you're clean. You know what? That will be our first stop. I took him to the mall, and I gotta say, I spent way less than I thought we would. I'm so used to buying designer clothes that I forgot poor people have cheaper tastes. We get back to the house, and I give him $500. Make it last. Tomorrow you go job hunting. I seriously don't know how to thank you enough, man. You've done enough. You've done so much for me. You can thank me by getting a job and getting your own place. Yeah, I guess so. That's the goal, right? Well, I'm heading to bed. There's a bedroom in that room there. I point. That can be your room. Good night, Sarge. Don't call me that. Just call me Roomy. It took a few days, but eventually Scott found himself working in some kind of office building as a janitor. Maybe I made the right choice in trying to do the right thing. I never thought it could feel this good. He's actually a pretty cool dude. We got to talking, and we have similar music tastes and even some of the same shows. Despite being a former bum, he's actually pretty clean. Good. I don't like conflict in my own house. I'm not an odd roommates kind of guy. Then, one night, I'm having a wonderful dream. It was about Christy, a girl I went to high school with and dated for a while. In the dream, she had just come back from Paris from her modeling tour. She told me she missed me and wanted to see me again, and just as we were about to kiss, I got woken up by the sound of hysterical screaming and a loud bang. I quickly hopped out of my bedroom, and into the hallway. I step in a wet spot and turn on the light, and there was Scott, dead on the floor with my service rifle in his hand. I forgot it was in the shelf in the hallway. It didn't occur to me that he'd use it. I call my brother and wash my foot off in the tub. My brother and his partner show up at my house. His partner looked like he'd been drinking, but I'm not surprised. It's 10:30 at night. A uniformed officer was there with them to take my statement, and I don't know why, but I barely knew the guy, but I cried like a pansy. He told me he sometimes has flashback nightmares about the war. I thought he was kidding when he said that, but he said his first night deployed, they were immediately hit. I meant to take the gun and put it in my room, and I forgot. I am sorry this happened, Samson, but do not let this discourage you from continuing to do good deeds. It is admirable, Luxor says. Thanks, bro. Figures I try to help someone and get their life together and they blow their brains out. It was beyond your control. Not if I had put the gun away like I meant to. If it wasn't that, it could have been something else. You really do not know this guy. You tried to help him, but it just did not go the way you expected. He was doing so good. Well, huh? He was doing well, not good. Please continue. Ass. Anyway, he'd found a job and was finally getting his life together. Now I'm wondering if been he'd have been better off on the street. Then he would have died in the street instead of a warm house with food in his stomach with a fellow vet who understood and cared about his cause and used his wealth to help better his life. And help him get a bullet in his brain. Yes, that is quite unfortunate. You should probably keep your gun locked away in a safe place so only you can access to avoid future mishaps. Gee, thanks a lot, genius. Any time, Dick. He's lucky he's my brother. Well, I guess it's another lesson I have to learn. Boy, life is full of all sorts of surprises, huh? The next day, I donated Scott's clothes at a nearby shelter and gave Dad his change back. Sorry it didn't work out, son, he tells me. I tried to fix a mistake and it caused a bigger one. At least you tried to do the right thing. I commend you for that. Just stop, Dad, alright? I fucked up. I fuck up. It's what I do. I'm a fuck up. Look, just have a few drinks with your new war buddies, okay? Maybe you'll get another chance in the future. Just don't give up trying to be a good person. I never thought you could be, but you definitely surprised me. And hey, if it helps alleviate your guilt, that's just a bonus. Whatever, I say as I leave Dad's house. I get in my car and head for the VFW. I'll drink, but I don't feel like talking. Luxor. This was one case I did not think I would ever catch. It is not every day a local celebrity dies. Everybody knew his name. He was Bob Johnson, the hot tub king. His body washed up on the shore. Some tourists found him. Who would have known? Who would have known the hot tub king himself would end up dead so young? Jones asks me. Not even I expected this. 55 is still relatively old, I respond. Fuck you, I'll be 64 soon. My apologies. What do you think it was? Well, first we have to find out if it is homicide or suicide. Guess we'll find out during the autopsy. I concur. We clear the body to be taken and take a ride to talk to the wife. I knock on the door and she answers. Did you find him? Is he okay? She asks through wet makeup stained eyes. Mrs. Jen, she interrupts. Jennifer, your husband was found on the shore. He was dead upon our arrival. She breaks down and starts crying. Do you have any idea who could have done this? That damn whore of his, Ella Simmons. She was pissed because he was going to leave her because I threatened to divorce him if he didn't. Love triangle. Look, it's not like I was happy about it, but I like nice things. So you were just married for money? No, not like I let him cheat. I just didn't know when it was happening. How did you come to find out about the affair? Dumb bitch basically told me. Excuse me? Yeah, I walk into the store to look for my piece of shit husband. You know, this wasn't even his first one. He's been doing this for years. Anyway, I walk up to this new girl who's dressed way too nice to be working there and compliment her look because up until that point I loved it. So I said, You look very nice, darling. And she says, Thanks, my boss pays me really well here, with this fake shit eating grin on her face. Then I knew immediately he was screwing her too. So I said, "Do you know where my husband is?" And her eyes widened and her face looked scared, confirming what I suspected. That's how I caught most of the others, too. They're so dumb, she chuckles. She told me he was in the office, so I went over to his office, but he was with a client. So I wait, he finishes, they leave. I tell him this is the last straw, and if he doesn't stop, I was divorcing him. Pardon me, but how would divorcing him be detrimental to him? Because I get half an alimony, and he doesn't even know how to take care of himself. I did like everything for him. Everything. He doesn't know how to cook, clean, do laundry, the basics. He can't even work the microwave. He's had everything taken care of his whole life. First his mom, then his first wife, then me. That's why I threatened to divorce him. He'd be lost without me. How did he survive when his first wife left him? Oh, yeah, about that. About what? He was having an affair on his wife with me, and he looked all so pathetic, all smelly and starving. Starving? Yeah, he was 40 and was told he couldn't eat fast food, so his diet was homemade food, and even then he had a special diet. I see, cholesterol. Yeah, he wasn't even supposed to eat the bad stuff anymore. He took it seriously at first, but I know he snuck it once in a while. Oh, okay, thank you. You have been very helpful, Mrs. Please, just call me Jen. Okay, Jennifer, we will be in contact if we get any leads. Thank you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go tell the children. We are sorry for your loss. He was well liked in this community. That's because you didn't know the real him. She shuts the door. What do you think? I ask Jones. She's full of shit, he tells me. You think so? I ask, puzzled. She seemed awfully distraught. She's playing you. How do you know? The eye makeup. It looked wet before but was dry. A normal person would have wiped it off when they were done crying. She was going for sympathy. Well, let us make sure and talk to the mistress. Aye, let's roll. We head on down to King Bob's hot tubs and walk up to the nicest dressed looking woman. Hello, Ella Simmons? I ask as I flash my badge. Hi, can I help you? She asks. Yes, we would like to talk to you about your boss. She gasps. Have they found him? Yes, he was found on the shore, dead. Oh my God! She collapses and begins crying. Now that's real, Jones says. Interesting, I comment. How did he die? She asks. We are still looking into it. So you had an intimate relationship with your boss? I ask. No, he was just my boss. That is not what his wife said. I swear I'm not a bad person. I was doing it for my kids. My husband died in Iraq, and we were left with barely anything afterwards, and I didn't make enough, so I got a second job. Where you met the deceased. Getting this job was super easy. I figured it out that day what he wanted from me, and I knew I'd have to do what it took to make sure my boys were well taken care of, even if it meant sleeping with my creepy old rich boss. My goodness. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do now that he's dead. This gig only works if he's alive. What was the case in the event of his death? I don't know. We never discussed it. I just assumed it went to his wife and kids. So you would not benefit in any way. You think I did it? It is a possibility. Am I under arrest? Not yet, but do not leave town. Fine. Good day. We leave the store. What do you think? I ask Jones. Honestly, could have been either of them. I have to admit it is a bit perplexing. I do not want to put the wrong woman in jail. So it's definitely one of them. Oh, yes, definitely. See if we can discover the contents of the will. That may give us a clue towards motive. We'd have to ask the wife. If I were her, I may not be willing to give that information. Exactly, which makes it the perfect test. If she's innocent, it won't be a problem. If she's guilty, she'll say no, possibly get defensive. Don't press the issue, we'll get a warrant. What if after all that she is still innocent? Then we apologize and explain we were just following protocol. Most people understand. A few will be dicks about it, but most people will understand. So back to the wife. Do you think she may be the culprit? My logic, based on the data, suggests she is the culprit, but also feel confident in that assessment. That's your gut, kid. Some people call it a hunch. So that is what that expression means. Yeah, see? You're still learning. My hunch tells me the wife did it, and our answer will be in that will. So you're absolutely sure that the will has something to do with it? Money is usually almost always the reason in these types of cases. Not gonna argue with you there. Well, here goes nothing. We head back to the victim's mansion, and I knock on the door, and Jennifer answers. Can I help you, officers? She asks. Just a few more things we need to look into. Can we please see his will? Sure, follow me. Not the reaction I had expected. The human mind is truly puzzling. Perhaps it is a deception. We follow her into the house to what I can only assume was his study. She opens a filing cabinet and begins sifting through the papers. Huh, can't seem to find it. Hold on, I'll call our lawyer. Maybe he has it. She picks up the receiver of the telephone with one hand and dials with the other. Hello? Yeah, it's me. Yeah, do you have. What do you mean you were about to call me? Yeah, that's actually why I was calling. The cops need to look at it too. Of course I'm okay with it. I finally got to see what Bob left me and the kids. Ugh, does that mean I have to see her? Either. Ugh, both? Who else? Just wives and kids? Ugh, and her? Fine, whatever. When do you want us down there? Now? Fine, see you soon. She hangs up. I'm sure you got the gist of that. You can follow me. I have to pick up the kids from school on the way, though. We arrive at the lawyer's office, and Jennifer, her children, Ella, and her children, and who I can only assume is Bob's first family, all gathered. Hello, and welcome to the reading of Bob's will, the lawyer begins. Bob requested you all to be here simultaneously so you could see where you all stood in his life. I apologize for what I'm about to read. To Martha, fuck off. To Bob Jr., since you have my name, you get the store. Check your bank account. To Jennifer, your jokes have been getting dark as of late, so I've made this addendum that in the case you're not joking, you get nothing. If I am in fact paranoid, then you will have nothing to worry about. You and the kids will be fine. To Ella Simmons, if my wife is in fact a murderous bitch, you and your kids will get my fortune. If not, you split it 60-40. That's bullshit, Jennifer yells. What are you complaining about? At least he left you something, Martha responds. Because because I have to share with his whore. Yeah, and the whore he left me for gets more than half his fortune. I think I'm a little more pissed off than you. Don't worry, Mom, I'll take care of you, Bob Jr. says to Martha. Why, thank you. But that's not the point. The point is that even in death, your father can be an absolute dickhead. I'm out of here. Come on, kids, Jennifer says as she leaves the building with her kids in tow. The other two families leave as well. Might I have this? I ask the lawyer. He hands me the will. The autopsy will tell you how she killed him. You gonna wait for her to slip, or can you do it once you find out? He asks. We have to prove it was her first, unless she slips. What makes you think she did it? I ask. She's had it out for him ever since she found out about Ella. I hung out with Bob, and whenever she was around, she'd make dark jokes about killing him and telling him that accidents happen. Interesting. Would you testify to that? Damn right I will. Excellent. Now to prove it was, in fact, her. Good luck. Go get her. Rob was like a brother to me. We grew up together. Between you and me, he should have stayed with Martha. She didn't let him get away with the bullshit Jennifer did, which is why she divorced Bob after the first time he raised his hand to her. Bob verbally abused Jennifer, which is probably what made her snap and begin resisting too. I've never seen him hit her though. He was losing control again until he met his new piece. Then he focused all his attention to her, and Jennifer noticed. It has been a pleasure, thank you. We leave and head back to the station. This has been an interesting case, Jones. You end up learning a bunch of shit about people you never knew before, like how Bob supported 3 families and some of us never get one. I am sorry, Jones. It's whatever. Let's head to the lab, see if they've got our results. We get back to the station and head to the medical examiner's office. Do you have our results? I inquire. Poison, the doctor tells us. Poison? Jones asks. In his soup. He was dead before he hit the water. How long ago? I inquire. No later than 9. She called us at 5 this morning, saying he never came home. Bob's closes at 8 on Sundays. By the time he gets home, it is already 8:30. Changes, gets a drink. I found beer in his stomach, too. Eats dinner, laced with the poison. He's dead by 9. I finish. Our radios crackle. Alpha, Jones, upstairs, immediately, we hear. We rush upstairs to my boss's office. We just got a call. Head to Ella Simmons' apartment immediately. She's being attacked by a crazy woman with a knife. We rush immediately over there, and there we see Jennifer making holes in the wood of the door, which is splintering and nearly broken. You bitch! You can't have it if you're dead! Jennifer's shouting. Put the knife down and surrender, Jennifer, Jones calls. No, it's not fair. I was the one who married to him. Why should she get any of it? It's too late. You did it yourself. Come, Jennifer, you are under arrest for the murder of your husband, Robert Johnson, and the attempted murder of Miss Ella Simmons, I tell her as I put the cuffs on. It's just not fair, she cries as I put her in the back of the cruiser. I actually felt a little challenged on this case, I tell Jones. If I hadn't helped you, would you have figured it out? Most likely. However, I must admit, I would have been puzzled had you not pointed out the empathy factor. Just something to add to my already elaborate algorithm. Ah, but you also trusted your gut. Yes, I was unprepared for that. While I was unsure, a feeling I had that had nothing to do with the data and logic brought me to the same conclusion. Perhaps I should trust my gut more often. You should, but remember, it's not a fact. You're human. Your gut could be wrong. Hmm. So use my gut at first and then use data and logic to confirm or not confirm if my feeling is correct? That's the way to do it. Intriguing. Every case I do teaches me more and more about the human mind in a way that cannot be learned on paper. It is scientifically fascinating to come across so many variables. I have also come to learn that similar circumstances do not necessarily have similar outcomes. This job has taught me so much about empathy, one thing I lack. To be able to express it is another challenge. I have been practicing when I have the spare time, although I am going to try practicing with a real person eventually. I have tried showing that what I have learned with Stanley, but he does not want to. Perhaps I will try things out again with Emily. Surely a female can teach me empathy. They are naturally more sensitive than us males are. I just hope that she will be willing to help me. I doubt my brother Samson will be of any help. He lacks empathy as I do. However, I think it may affect me more. War has changed him. Perhaps he learned empathy while performing his service. Watching your comrades die on a semi regular basis must have some kind of effect, unless it has hardened him more, which is also a possibility. I see now that the world is full of variables. Everyone and all their actions are variables and have variables themselves. I do hope that I get to the point where I can do this job with 100% perfection, with all variables accounted for. I can only surmise that what the future holds for me and my brother. This is Luxor Alpha, signing off. And that concludes Book 1 of Imperfect Perfection. If you like the story so far, please subscribe.